could have given up, but you didn't. You could have stopped believing, but you didn't. You could have kept living their expectations, but you decided to make this life your own. And in turn, you're here. Hello, everybody. Today we meet in Timothy Doyle. He is a spiritual teacher, an astrologer, and a Kundalini Meditation master. Hi, Timothy. Thank you for joining us today.
And it's my pleasure. Thank you very much for allowing me to share the teachings of the Golden Ones. Thank you.
Yes, and we're going to start our conversation with diving into your story of becoming the person you are today. I'd like to know, how did you, come to this place where you awaken yourself and now you are teaching others to do the same? I just want to know, what led you into discovering of your own true purpose in life?
Well, and I started in probably 1972 when I started to meditate, and I raised the Kundalini within myself. I didn't even know what the Kundalini was or chakras or anything like that. So that sort of opened me up to find out more about my spiritualism and who I was. Mm-hmm. And so I was in 72. Then in 83, while meditating, a golden light being appeared to me. And in my mind's eye, it opened up like a television screen, and I could see this golden light being like I'm looking at you right now, crystal clear. His garments all radiating gold and so forth. And so I didn't think too much about that. Well, I did think about a lot about that, but that wasn't like, oh, wow. I just put that in the back of my mind. And then I was in New Zealand in October of 2012, and a group of spiritual beings appeared to me. They didn't appear to me like the first one did in 1983. They were just in my mind's eye. I could see a group of them coming in, and I welcomed them and said, thank you for joining me. And then a few months later, in February of 2013, I used to get up at 3:30 in the morning to do my Kundalini yoga practice. And they would my teachers always talk to me. They always talk to me. Mm-hmm. It's different from having your own thoughts. It's like a two-way conversation. They taught me this practice back in 83 when I was studying to become a metaphysical minister. They taught me how there's a brain wave. I call it the God frequency in the brain, where if you discipline your thinking, you can attune to this frequency where you're always in communications with your teachers, and you can ask questions and they'll respond immediately. So they were talking to me in my meditations, and they told me I was going to be a spiritual teacher. And I laughed at them, Anna, because I thought, what in this world am I going to say that's going to change what has already been taught in the world? Mm-hmm. And so I sort of laughed at them. And then a couple of weeks later, at 2:30 in the morning, they would wake me up and tell me, go to the computer and just type whatever I heard. So I went to my computer the first time and I started typing, and I probably typed for about 20 minutes. And then I read what I typed. I thought, wow, this is pretty amazing. And I says, well, I can't sign my name to this. I said, who should I sign this is coming from? Mm-hmm. And they said, the Golden Ones. So that's when I first got the name of the Golden Ones back in February of 2013. And then for the next, maybe 30 days or so, every morning I would get up at 2:30. They would wake me up at 2:30, and I'd channel and I would write. And I put it into books, which are books on the website. And what they are is basically guidance in how to develop your spiritual path and to assist you. So, but everything they channel to me, I would have to experience it that day to authenticate what it was they were teaching me. So it wasn't like they would tell me something and I would say, oh, okay, good. And then say yada, 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 without knowing or experiencing what was happening. So everything written in the website, I had to experience to authenticate what was written. So that started in, wow, long time ago, their process. And they still talk to me. I mean, it's once you attune to the God frequency in your mind, it's like riding a bicycle. You're always attuned and they talk to you all the time. And it's like, I won't say it's like being a clairvoyant or anything because I don't use it for that. I just use it to attune to what I'm supposed to write for them. And when I'm writing, then I'll sit down and then they'll channel their information through me and so forth. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I just wonder. Yeah, I just wonder how it started for you because you said that you heard them saying something. So it's not just something that you can confuse it with. It was clear a conversation with some beings, right? And you heard them giving you some messages and you just wrote it down.
I wrote it down and I didn't know. I just wrote down what they told me in my brain. And it's like, once I read it, it's like, oh, okay. I read it and then I experience it. And then it's authenticated where I can put it in writing for someone else to learn from their teachings. So yeah, it's not like making up a story or thinking, oh, it's not like the ego is coming through and writing a story because I don't read anything. I don't read books. I don't read books. Whatever I write is what I hear and they tell me. And then I have to experience it to authenticate it. So.
Right. Yeah. And I just want you to give an advice to people who would like to maybe find that, I guess, vibration, that state where they could attune to the God's mind, frequency, or how you say it, like a universal mind.
Well, it's in your mind, if you wanted to think about colors of flowers or cooking or animals, you can tune into that frequency in your mind and you would be guided to that subject matter. There's a God frequency that once you attune to it, that's the primary frequency that overrides all other frequencies. So for example, if you're cooking and you need to know something, or they want you to hear something, you'll hear that in your thoughts. And how you do this is there's on the website, I don't like to say my website, it's their website. On the website, www.thepath to oneness, there's a program called the Ascension Master Program. It's a 28-day program, and you can download the program free of charge. And it's a 28-day program that you take it day by day. And it's not a difficult process. It teaches you to discipline your thinking periodically throughout the day. And then little by little, you become more conscious of your thinking and feelings. And it helps you to ensure that your thoughts and feelings are in line with universal mind in harmony, balance, order, and unity for the good of all. That's the main purpose of disciplining your thinking and feeling, Anna.
I see. So I would just include the link to the website in the description of the episode. So I want people to check this out. And like you said, free of charge, but it could be something they didn't experience before. And in 28 days, you think everybody could, by following the steps, they could get to that place, right? Where they could attune to a certain frequency.
Well, that is what they chant. When the program was written, it was all channeled writing. And that's what they recommended, 28 days it would take. That's how long it took me back in 1983 to attune to this frequency. So little by little, they'll see results in the first week. It may take about 10 days before they start being conscious of their thoughts and the thoughts coming to them and so forth. So in 28 days, they should master it. But if they're having difficulties, I do free consultations. They can do a consultation with me to tell me what their difficulties are. Now, I will tell you, Anna, the whole purpose of this program, a 28-day program, is to clean your light body. So when you start the program, issues will come up in your life for you to look at so you can clean them. Now, back in '83, I did not have the tools that are in the program now. One tool is to remove fears and doubts, the prayer to remove emotional parasites, where if a fear comes up, you can eliminate these fears in 10 or 15 seconds. It's a very simple way. It's like deleting a bad picture off your cell phone. You can delete these fears off your light body in 10 seconds. And so this program will bring up these issues in your life so you can remove them and then move on. And the more you remove these fears and unhealthy feelings and so forth, you start vibrating at a higher frequency. And when you vibrate at a higher frequency, then there's nothing interfering with the tuning to this frequency in your mind's consciousness, your mind, God frequency.
I see. So people would feel those emotional parasites, like you mentioned, come up to the surface as they go with the program. And by using the prayer, it will take them just a few seconds to kind of remove them, release them, right? And that will help them to kind of like raise in frequency so they can attune eventually.
Well, see, what happens is you have a conscious mind. Your conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time. You can't be thinking about, let's say, in your dreams and desires, if you have fear. If you're thinking of the fear, you're not thinking about your dreams and desires. So the whole purpose is to, when fears or unhealthy feelings come into your mind, just get rid of them immediately. And eventually you'll go through the process. The first time this was revealed to me back in 2012, I would use the prayer 10, 15, 20 times a day as things were surfacing from my subconscious mind. And then after a while, it gets down to 1 or 2. And sometimes after a month, there's no fears, there's no unhealthy feelings, you just are at peace with yourself and very relaxed, and you can vibrate at a higher frequency.
Oh, okay. Now, so it's a gradual way of removing them little by little every single day.
Yes. Now, Anna, do you have any fears?
Of course, like everybody.
Would you like to remove one very quickly?
Yeah, let's do it. Of course.
Okay. Oh, very good, Anna. You're a very good sport. All right. So you don't have to tell what the fear is, okay?
Okay.
You don't have to reveal what it is. All you have to do is think about it. All right. Your major fear. What is your major fear? Just think about it. See, what happens is in your subconscious mind, you have hundreds of these fears, all right? And so you can't just say, okay, I want to get rid of this fear. Well, you have to bring the fear to the surface of your conscious mind to remove it. So what we want you to do is think of the fear. Okay. Now, the fear is in your, okay, good. So the fear is in your subconscious mind, which is your third chakra, which is above the navel. So put your left hand on your third chakra, above the navel, left hand, your right hand on your heart. We're
Okay.
going to move the energy from your third chakra to the heart chakra. You're feeling it, right?
Yes, I'm feeling it.
Okay, now repeat after me. This feeling is not mine.
This feeling is not mine.
This feeling does not belong to me.
This feeling does not belong to me.
I release this feeling in love.
I release this feeling in love.
Now and forever.
Now and forever.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, Anna, try and find that feeling now.
Yeah, I feel lighter in a way. It's
Can you find it? Can you find it? Search.
No, I think it disappeared.
Of course it disappeared.
Yeah, but it was so easy.
Well, I know it's so easy to remove. I said it's like removing a bad photo off your cell phone. You just click on it and it's gone.
Wow.
So if you know how to do it, you can erase all the fears from your life. Very simple. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was simple. Yeah, if only people knew how to use it.
Well, that's why we're having this discussion with you to teach people how to use it. Okay. Very simple. And you can teach other people how to use it too.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that you shared that technique. I'm pretty sure it will be beneficial for others as well. And I want them to try and see for themselves, because words don't teach. You have to experience that. I feel like you have to try yourself and see how you feel.
Exactly.
But for me, I definitely felt lighter after this. So,
well, when I do interviews with people, I like them to do it themselves, to experience it. And some people will not do it because I think they're concerned that it won't work, or something's wrong with them. But it's so simple. It's so simple. All of the key is you have to feel the fear. That's the key. Feel the fear. And then you can remove it.
You have to kind of like trigger within yourself and start feeling it first, and then start saying this prayer and see how you feel after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's on the website too. A very simple demonstration on the homepage how to do it. So if anyone is interested, they can go there and watch the video that's there.
Right. No, that's great. Is there any other advice or tips you would tell like anybody who tried to kind of release anxiety and fear? You know, we're all busy working every day, not thinking about our own, time for ourselves. And sometimes people overwhelmed with that stress. What simple thing they can do to just like de-stress after long day of work and give themselves that opportunity to be in that place where they can just release that?
Well, see, Earth is a spiritual training school. And Archangel Lucifer, his responsibility, which people refer to as the devil, is actually an archangel, and his responsibility is to tempt all souls until they learn how to discipline their weakness. That's his role. So there's a lot of things going on in this Earth training school, like wars and money and shortages of this and that. And so one thing is health. And if a person knows how to keep their body free of diseases, that's very important. So in your body, you have an acid and an alkaline ratio, 3-to-1, more acid than alkaline. If you keep the alkalinity in your body at a certain level, and no diseases can live in your body. Cancer, coronavirus, colds, they can't survive. if your body is in an alkaline environment. Now, if you feel a cold is coming on, or you feel like you're sneezing, there's a quick way to remedy that is a half squeezed lemon in 10 ounces of water with a teaspoon of baking soda. Drink that, and that will immediately raise the alkalinity in your body and kill whatever is attempting to survive, disease it's attempting to survive. Now, if you have cancer, or if you have any condition in your body, you would drink this maybe 3 or 4 times a day until you transition those disease cells into healthy cells.
Right. Okay, yeah, it
Very
sounds
simple.
like a simple advice, but I'm pretty sure people find it beneficial, especially nowadays with the pandemic. We need to make sure we're healthy. And if there's something we can do at home to facilitate that, that's what we should be always aware.
Now, doctors know this. Doctors know that if your body is alkaline, you cannot get diseases. But if your body is healthy, there's no money in being a doctor, okay?
True. Yeah.
All right. So they will prescribe cough syrups and aspirins and this and that to sell things. But all you need is lemon and baking soda and keep your body alkaline, and you're free from all diseases. I've been in China for 8 years. I have not had a cold here in China. No diseases, no illnesses, nothing. I just keep my body alkaline. So just be aware that you can be free of dis-ease in your body if you keep your body alkaline. The same principle is on a swimming pool. If you have a swimming pool and it starts to get cloudy, the first thing they do is they do pH up, which means they raise the alkalinity in the water to remove the germs and the bacteria in the water. Same principle as a swimming pool.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it's just simple and it makes sense. And but like you said, if only everybody was healthy, like we wouldn't have any traditional medicine. So
Exactly.
there's something to think about. But
and also it's like the negativity, the people, it's a long story, but the people in charge, I won't say are corrupt, but they're not in this spiritual training school. They're not the upperclassmen. They're the lower people on the education, spiritual education. So they're not, their motivation, intention is not to help people. It's out of greediness and ego, power grabbing, selfishness. So they're not really interested in helping the person that is spiritually inclined. And so it's up to the responsibility of each soul to be mindful of who they listen to and what they take into their subconscious, because that's where the fear comes from. Wars in Ukraine and Russia. Nothing can happen on this planet to a soul unless a soul has committed something against the universal law of cause and effect. What you do to others will be done unto you. So if you understand that nothing can happen to you unless you cause it, then when a karma challenge comes, you just have to be thankful for the challenge, release it and move on, go to forgiveness. Like you said, get back to your question of how can people feel relaxed when they come home and stress. Tuning into that God frequency where they always know that nothing can happen to them unless they create it, and that the universal mind is always looking out for each soul. Now, there is another tool, another tool that's very handy. It's in this Earth Spiritual Training School, we have free will. Now, Anna, you like to make your own decisions. You like to do what Anna likes to do. Yeah. Anna, whatever Anna wants to eat, if Anna wants to smoke, if Anna wants to take drugs, that's Anna's choice. She doesn't want anyone telling her what to do or what not to do. The same thing works with our spiritual teachers and our guardian angels. We each have a guardian angel and we have spiritual teachers. They cannot help us unless we ask for help. So if someone has a life-challenging situation, then all they have to do is just ask their teachers, and it helps them to attune to this God frequency in their mind. Ask their teachers for assistance. Ask the guardian angels for assistance. And just wait and listen. Wait and listen. They'll hear it in their thoughts and follow their thoughts. And that helps them to attune to this God frequency in their mind. Asking questions to their spiritual teachers and to their guardian angels, and listen. It will come. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to go to any spiritual organization. You can just sit down on your sofa, turn the TV set off, and have a talk with your teachers and your guardian angels, and they'll respond.
I see. So everything could be done at home with just you being aware that you are responsible for everything in your life. And it's up to you. If you need some kind of help, you can ask for it and listen, like you said. And it's also up to you to release all the emotional parasite. So we have to understand that it's all, our own responsibility. And we're here.
It is. It's, you repeat it very well, Anna. You say exactly how it is. Now, there's one more thing that interferes with a soul without them knowing about it. It's when death comes, there's no ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. What there are is trapped souls, people who die and do not want to go to the next level of soul development. When a soul dies, it has 3 days to reconcile their death and to say goodbye to their loved ones. Well, some souls are so attached to their loved ones and their children and grandchildren that they don't move on. Now, these souls are called trap souls because once they miss the bus to go to the next level, they're here until someone helps them move to the other side. So what these trap souls do is they attach themselves to a loved one. It could be a loved one, it could be anybody else. It could be anyone that has the same emotional lifestyle that they had when they died. If it's someone that had a drug problem, they'll attach to someone who is taking drugs. If someone has a drinking problem, they'll attach to someone having an alcoholic. But these also, if you vibrate at a higher frequency and you're very spiritual, these trap souls will attach to you in hoping that you will help them to the other side. They see your light brighter than anybody else. And this has happened to me a couple of times. In fact, when people come to me, I know that my teachers have guided them to me, and I work with them to ask them are they having bad dreams? Do they see somebody in the mirror? Do they feel someone's behind them? These are the indications that someone is attached to them or someone is influencing them. And what happens is the soul that is attached to you or hanging around you will influence your thinking. You'll start doing things that you haven't done before. You'll start eating that you normally don't eat. You'll start drinking what you normally don't drink. You'll be on the internet looking at things you normally don't look at. And you think it's you, but in reality, you're being influenced by this, I won't call it a parasite, this trapped soul. And so on the website, there's a prayer, the prayer of protection. And what this does is it clears these souls. If you have an attachment and you say the prayer of protection, you will assist this soul that's attached to you to move to the next level of soul development. All right. So you're helping them as well as you're protecting yourself from any attachments from these trapped souls, these influences.
Yeah, that would be good to know. And also people see it on your website as well. So like you mentioned, if there are any type of, like signs that they're not doing what they usually did before. And this is kind of like new impulses that they haven't, right? So it could be due to that entrapped soul being attached.
Without them even knowing it. Without them even knowing it. They'll just know that they're not feeling their normal, self-motivated, feeling good self.
Yeah, that's good to know. And I'm going to check it out myself as well. There's something new to learn every day. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and thoughts with every one of us. And I'd like people to check out the website and see all the tools available for them. And thank you again, and I hope you enjoy your evening.
Oh, Anna, thank you very much for the opportunity to share these teachings to everyone on Earth here.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, hit the subscribe button and share it with others. Stay tuned.